good evening. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us. So, I've not been this amped up, this excited for a show in a really long time, and that is awesome. Wow, got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. First off, I want to say yesterday I put out a video. What did I title that video? Let me look. I titled that video, Your Gas Mask is Nearly Useless. Do this instead. If you have not seen that video, I highly recommend you watch it, and I really would appreciate if you would share it. Share it everywhere, all your social medias. The reason why is because I don't think a lot of people, especially in the prepper space, really understand the limitations of their gas mask cartridges, and I think it's really important to get that information out there. So, also, and I'll guess I'll start saying it, do the like, subscribe, whatever. I'm going to try to do better at this. I actually had spent about 4.5 hours today total. Now, mind you, 2.5 hours of that was rendering time, so not really me working, but the computer working, just to do that flame text that you see. I didn't use a template for that. I really went like piece by piece manually and made that. So I'm going to start throwing myself into learning a little bit more of Adobe After Effects, and going to try to make some cool stuff. So be prepared, because things will get better as far as like the backdrop and all that good stuff. I just have to find what it is that I really like, and then learn how to do it. So just like the fire text, I didn't just go in there and take guesses at stuff. I watched a tutorial video and learned how to do it. But it was about a 2-hour process to just to create that flaming text. So pretty crazy. Couple of things I want to go over before we just talk about whatever. And starting out, I'd like to ask for a prayer for a young lady. I don't want to say her name. She's a minor, so I don't want to put her name out there. But and kind of a unique first name too, so I just ask for prayers for her. Had an incident this week. Young lady, I guess she was lured out of her home into her front yard by whom she thought was friends. And at that point, 4 other teenage girls jumped her and assaulted her. So, crazy. It was crazy. It spilled over in our local town Facebook group. That's how I'm aware of the situation. And just asking for prayers for her. Sounds like she is really a good kid. It sounds like she's doing her best to be a good kid. And so I would ask for prayers for her strength and her clarity and her guidance to help her stay on that line. When I was talking with her, one of the things that she had told me was one of the reasons she was being picked on so much was because she didn't want to get involved in all the drugs and crazy stuff that her quote-unquote friends were doing. Now that kind of, it kind of hits home to me, and the reason why, I'll tell you a story about what happened to me one time when I was in high school. I was never much of a drinker, and I shared this story with her as well. I was never much of a drinker, and I was working at a job, 40 plus hours a week, and there was a party that night. Yes, I went to school and worked 48 hours a week on average. And there was a party that I went to. I actually took my best friend, quote unquote, to the party. And I wasn't interested in drinking. I usually was never interested in drinking. Don't get me wrong, and I always make this very clear. I was no angel. I wasn't even close to an angel. But I stayed very clear of alcohol. And I've talked about why and stuff before here. And so we get to the party, and I was beat. I was exhausted from a long day. And I said, man, I'm just gonna crash out here in my car. And 1979 Pinot. Um, it was Pinot orange, that like grabber orange. And I had pink and neon green and neon blue accents. It was actually a pretty sharp car. And I was sleeping in the driver's seat of my car, and all of a sudden, I heard a girl speak first, and she said, let me screw with them." And I was like, "Huh?" And I just as I opened my eyes, they unleashed a full can of either mace or pepper spray, what have you. Uh, just sprayed the entire. It was a not a huge big can. It was like in a keychain holster thing, so it wasn't a big bottle. But still, they emptied that thing out on my face, and I I couldn't see. I mean, I that stuff burns, and so I managed. Now, mind you, I got to tell this part of it too. At that particular time, I had a bad battery in my car. The battery, because I didn't tie it down like Dad told me to tie it down, the battery went up against the exhaust manifold and melted a hole in it. So I had one or two cells of the battery that was typically dry. And so what I would have to do to get it started is I always carried a 2-liter bottle of battery acid with me, kid you not, and I could just, open up the caps and I could just pour it over those cells that were dry, and it would give it enough to start. It would fire right up. Well, didn't really have that option in the middle of the night when I couldn't see. So I opened up my car door and stuck my foot out. I parked up on a hill. I did that a lot because if I could push start it, I would. And so I parked up on a hill. I opened up the door, got my foot out, and well, they took off running when I opened up the door. They had no idea what I was going to do, and I'll just say this, they had no idea what I did or did not have with me. I opened up the door, gave my car a push, started down the hill, and fired it up and took off. Again, 1979 Pinot. They had, and I'm not sure the year, maybe a 76 or something Trans Am. I know it had a 400 in it. And they proceeded to chase me all the way back to Highland. And it was a good thing. They kept trying to overtake me on the highway, and I kept blocking them. And I had just made up my mind if they tried to overtake me one more time, and we're driving 80 plus mile an hour, somebody's going to meet a culvert. And it was a good thing that they didn't try to overtake me again. Anyway, just a little more to it. I ran a stop sign just as I was making a left on the home stretch, and there was a cop right there. Pulled me over. The cop even had to jump back from the car window because the smell of it was so bad. It would sting in his eyes and stuff like that. I still got the ticket for running the stop sign, and they got nothing. They got nothing. Even though they were stopped, and the cop found the empty holster. I guess the can wasn't in the car, but the holster was, on the keychain. And they saw that, and nothing happened to them. So I know exactly what it's like to be in that position and be picked on because you don't want to do what everybody else is doing. So I commended her for her strength, and she doesn't know it yet, but I designed her up a decal. I got to cut it yet. I got to cut out a barcode as well, so probably do that tomorrow. And I won't say her name, but it's got the little crown, and it says "Keep calm and stay strong," like, and her name. So I'm gonna make that for her, make her up a few of them, and it's just crazy. And I told her that I'd be praying for her. I told her that I'd be asking for prayers for her, and And I told her a little bit about Psalm 23. Psalm 23, you often hear people talk about, yea, I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. But see, I don't do verses. And if you come around often at all, you'll know that I don't do verses, I do chapters. And there is a whole lot more to that chapter. And there are, okay, I got to back up just a little bit. I've learned, a good friend of mine had taught me that the best revenge you can get on somebody is to be righteous. Just be righteous. That's all you have to do. Just worry about you and be righteous. See, I don't worry about the scales of society. I don't care if society thinks I'm a scumbag, a dirtball. I don't care. Because I'm a righteous man. And anything they throw at me doesn't matter. Because they're earthly bound. That's all they can see is earthly things. I don't even think that way. And so I always think to Psalm 23. And I've watched in my life, since I've taken my buddy's advice, I've watched in my life how things, people that trespass against me, the Father works. And He works serious on that. And I don't have to do a thing except be righteous. I told her, one thing that I often will say to somebody is, I can't wait until I see you face to face. Now, a lot of people, again, earthly bound, might take that as some type of a physical threat. It's not. Not even the slightest. I will again refer you to Psalm 23. What does Psalm 23 say? All of it. Not just picking and choosing. It's not very big. Not big at all. But let's read it, shall we? The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for His name's sake. And of course, the one you all know. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for Thou art with me. Thy rod and Thy staff, they comfort me. And I love that too. I love that too. But it's the next one. It's the next one. The one that people don't really talk about because they're too busy focusing on the one above. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. And I will finish it because I don't do verses, I do chapters. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. So there's going to come a time when I'm up there that the Father is going to set me down at the table with those people who trespassed against me. And that is the face-to-face that I'm speaking of. That's what counts. Because it doesn't matter what man thinks of me. It doesn't matter what man thinks of you. As long as you're right with the Father, you got no worries. No worries. As long as you're a righteous person, just look out and watch what happens. Just watch what happens. But, if you are involved in that back and forth, you have to repent. Because if you're not repenting, you're not being righteous. So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm just, when it comes to YouTube and the other channels and stuff like that, nope, I'm washing my hands of it. I'm washing my hands of it. I'm going to let the Father work. Anyway, I wanted to mention that. Mainly, I wanted to ask for prayers for this young lady, and I wanted to share the same advice with you that I had shared with her, because I think that it can help a lot of people. Again, I don't see the world with worldly eyes. I don't. I can't. I don't want to. I don't want to. Because the world is so full of BS. And so many games and so many changes of the rules and people that are completely fake. Completely fake. They'll tell you what they want you to believe they are, but all you got to do is watch their works. So anyway, pray for that young lady. Pray that she heard my message to her and that she walks that righteous walk. I'm confident. I'm very confident that this young lady's going to do fine. So anyway, I know that most of you didn't come here for a Bible lesson, and that's all good. I gave one anyway. If you want to talk about news, if anybody's got anything in particular they want to talk about, just throw it up there in the chatteroo, and we'll discuss it. There's obviously been a lot of news throughout the week. I'm loving this, by the way, versus the every night thing. This is awesome because, for one, I don't feel in any way stressed, rushed, nothing. It's just, I mean, I was looking forward to doing the show. I mean, that's been a long time, folks. It's been a long time since I've looked forward to doing the show. So anyway, but don't have any questions. I'll tell you a little bit about what the future holds for the channel. I'm still working out the news end of the Watchman news. I know that probably sounds a little crazy, but still kind of working out the news end, how I'm going to do that stuff. There won't be any daily live shows. That I can promise you. But I think it would probably be wise if I did, news reports and stuff like that when necessary. I'm not going to be the guy that has to make a video every day just to make content, just to put stuff out there. I'm not gonna do that. To me, that's ridiculous. If something very notable happens, I will most certainly make a video and talk about it. Other than that, we're going to double down on preparedness. And I'm going to show folks what I mean when I say advanced level prepping. Video games. Hey, man, anything. Video games isn't off limits. Not at all. Battlefield 6, dude, that's looking killer. I watched a video of Stone Mountain today, a little bit of it, not all of it. And he was showing, I think, Manhattan map that's going to be on Battlefield 6. It was looking pretty killer. So yeah, I got to win the lottery so I can buy it. I got a lot of other stuff I got to get before I can get there. And trying to think. Oh, another good thing that today I have learned how to reuse my coils on my little Vapresso mod here. So I the other day I set up a coil, but it was one of my big coils, one that's too big for this particular pod. And so I folded over the legs once on each side to make it a little, not as wide so that the legs wouldn't touch. And I put it all together and all that. Well, it showed me short. And I said, shit, and so today, I thought, you know what? That is not going to beat me. So I sat down here with another one of those wider coils, bent the legs over, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to try that one that I screwed up. And I tried it again. This time, I really took my time with it, really watched close, and I got it. So I'm now, I've built up enough skill with these particular coils, because they're mesh coils, that I can reuse them. And so that's awesome. I will be ordering, as soon as I can, I'll be ordering a pack of 100 or if I can more, but $100's going to cost me about 26, 27 bucks. But, and that'll last me a good long while, 100 coils. So I got to get nicotine. I am so behind on getting stuff. Oh, it is what it is. When the Father decides to bless me, he'll bless me. If he doesn't decide to bless me, well, guess what? That's just kind of the way it is. I do got some jobs coming up. I gotta help set up a security camera system for someone. I got another gentleman that's got some nail guns that he needs rebuilt. So I'll be rebuilding those. And then anything else that comes my way. So, let's see. That was really cool, though, that I was able to reuse that mesh coil. Even though I screwed it up once, I was able to pull it out and fix it. And the one that I set there and bent all the legs to all beautiful and pretty, I got it sitting in the box because I didn't need to use it. I repaired the other one. So, anyway, so that was cool. Been kind of a productive day. It really, truly has. Trying to think of what all went on, too, as far as the news. I mean, there's been a lot of stuff, the Comey stuff, and I don't pay a whole lot of attention to that stuff, because, you know, at this point, man, we'll see. We'll see. It's one thing to make a token arrest, you know? And at this point, that's what Comey is, in my eyes. It's a token arrest. It's eye candy. It's meant to make it look like we're doing something, right? And I think Trump's already said something to the effect of that he's got a liberal judge or whatever, and that, you know. So I wouldn't doubt whatsoever that, because it's just an indictment, right? And you know the saying, you can indict a ham sandwich. So I'm not necessarily convinced that anything's actually going to come from it. Trying to think what else went on. Of course, things are ratcheting up, yada yada, supposedly, so they say. Again, you know, I think we are been given such the runaround. It's insane. And I won't even get close to the whole Charlie Kirk conspiracy thing, because there are so many things flying around at this point. And I think it is obvious and clear at this point that they aren't being straight with us, meaning the federal government. They're not being straight with us with what happened. And I'm not going to waste my time and energy concocting up stories in my head, or even listening to other people's stories they've concocted up, because it's ridiculous at this point. Candace Owens, it almost seems like Candace Owens at this point is just trying to get as many clicks as what she can. I mean, some of it, and I like Candace, but some of the stuff she's saying, and it's ridiculous. It is truly ridiculous. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm not trusting of any type of information right now, to be quite honest. When it comes to Russia, Ukraine, none of it. I'm really not. I think the Epstein thing is actually being used as a distraction. We'll never get that information. We'll never see that. We just need to be realistic and be mature adults here and understand that. But they will let people run with that and fill their minds and their, spend their energy on it. As long as it keeps them from asking important questions. And I'm not saying that the whole Epstein thing's not important. It absolutely is. What I'm getting at is we are not going to get that information. Period. Because you're talking about not just national security, but international security. You're talking about governments around the world that there would be some going to war, there would be some that would be defunct. I mean, it would cause so much havoc globally if that information ever came to light. We're not going to see that. Just like we're never going to really hear what happened with JFK. We're never going to hear what happened with 9/11. Sadly, we probably won't hear the whole truth about what happened with Charlie Kirk. This is the way it's been, and it's the way it will be. Not going to change. And that's just something we need to be honest with ourselves about. Other than that, what all went on? Israel's still hitting Gaza. The threat of the government shutdown, that's another thing that they do every single time. If you fall for the government shutdown at this point, there's probably not a lot of hope for you. Because they do it every time, and it's like the hero winning the football game, right? Because at the last moment they make a deal and they make an agreement, and we don't have to shut. The best damn thing to happen to this country is if the government shut down. But that's for another day. I don't want to get into that. Gosh. Trying to think of what all else went on. I mean, a lot of it's kind of just been around certain areas, and it's just, not so much Epstein, but of course there's been a lot of Charlie Kirk stuff, and it seems like the news cycle is like the toilet bowl, and it's just swirling down. I know there seems to be a fair bit of concern as to people's safety and stuff with the Antifa and the anti-ICE protests and all of that stuff. If you live in a city, if you live where those kind of folks are, yeah, keep aware. Keep your situational awareness on high. But if you don't, I wouldn't even think about it. It's like, I don't have to think about anti-ICE protesters here. I don't have to worry about Antifa here. I'm not gonna. I'll tell you what. It has been, as for me, for my mind, it has been so peaceful since I quit doing the daily shows. So peaceful. I still keep up on the news. Absolutely. But I don't bury myself in it. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. It's part of it's trusting the Father, and the other part of it is realizing that a lot of the stuff that's going on doesn't affect me. Not here. Not in this little old sleeper town in the Midwest. This doesn't. Hetty Hayes, and I know you kind of live in a rural area. I'm sure you're not too concerned about Antifa. And if they come and do an anti-ICE protest outside your home, just run them over with a wheelchair, I mean, hey, why not? Those damn things are heavy, and it'll hurt. Oh, man. I figured you would get a kick out of that. Yeah, run it over your foot one time and let me know how heavy it is. I did that with Jen's. Didn't realize I had my foot right there and I was backing it up. Yep. I mean, it's not that bad. But it was before I put the pneumatic tires on it, so it still had the hard, solid tires on it. Those hurt a little more. I can't remember what hers is. I think hers is 400 and some odd pounds. It broke on the last one? Yikes. Wait, what broke? On what last one? What do you mean? I know your wife was cruising out with one of them. That the one that broke? Oh, the Sheeta OSB. Oh, okay. You're talking about doing your vents. Yeah, it's a fun job. Do you got one of those little, I forget what they call those tools, the little vibrator thingy? I don't know. I think my landlord called it a multi-tool, but there was another name that they called them, high-speed oscillating tool, something like that. Yeah, those are the bomb, man. I had one for a little while. I had that. I bought that Black & Decker set. They had a set. I can't remember the name of it now. I always forget the name of it. It's right before my divorce, unfortunately, and I bought the big set, the biggest set you could get. It had all the attachments they had for that stupid thing. It's like a drill head, but then you had all these attachments you could put on it. And it had one of those. And, oh, you got a Dremel brand one. I bet that thing is awesome. I never got to use it. In fact, I think I used the drill one time, and that was it. And never got to use the rest of it. It's all brand new, still in a box and left down in Alabama. That sucks. But I got to get me one of those tools. I definitely got to get me one. And by the way, I got every one of the things I had taken apart back together and functioning properly from the AC motor video. The bread maker works. The inline duct fan works. What was the other one out of? Oh, my little generic Dremel. That works fine. Got it all back together. Didn't have any extra parts, any extra screws or anything like that, which is actually a little unusual, but that bread maker had 1,000,000,001 screws in it. Oh, cordless ratchet. You're making me jealous, man. You're making me jealous. I want a cordless screwdriver, and I would definitely rock a cordless ratchet. Definitely. I got to get a bigger impact. I took a picture of the model number of the one that really impressed me. And it was a 3/8 drive. It blew my mind. I might get the 1/2-inch drive version of it, but it was a DeWalt. And neighbor needed brake work done. And I couldn't get her lug nuts loose to save my life. Nobody could. I mean, we had neighbors coming over. You know, I'm not a big guy, and COPD and all that, you know. But the guy across the street, good-sized dude, you know. Hell, he came over and stood on it. And the tire tool, the lug wrench, couldn't get him broke loose. Whoever put those wheels on, man, they held on to that impact for life when they put those lug nuts on. Well, anyway, I've got my impact, my Porter cable, but it's not that type of impact, right? So they went and borrowed this DeWalt 3/8 drive impact, and I was shocked when it pulled all of those lug nuts loose without too bad of a fight, and I was just in awe. I'm like, damn. I grabbed out my phone, snapped a picture of the model number. I'm like, I'm getting that one. Normally I don't run into stuff. I mean, I didn't want to, it was just a cheap lug wrench that comes with the vehicle, so I didn't want to go putting a cheater pipe on it or anything like that, because that's a good way of breaking the stud off. And unfortunately, I didn't have a four-way. If I would have had a four-way, I would have got him loose. Not a problem. But didn't have one. There's a lot of little tools yet that I've got to replace. I need to get a four-way. I need to get the stupid Torx sockets, the ones that fit the brakes that are on a lot of cars now. I don't have a set of those. I've got one, but I need to get more sizes. Anyway, what all else happened? I don't even know. I'll look in RT, cause oh yeah, that information came out. FBI had nearly 3,000 plainclothes agents at January 6th. That's an awful lot of people. So I don't know. The thing of it is, I don't think nothing ever come of it. I do not think nothing will ever come of it. I think all that stuff is just distractions. It's to keep the people's minds busy while they continue to destroy every single bit of freedom that we have. And that's what's happening right now. There's so many things in the works, and then with the AI stuff that they're implementing and all of that, not looking good. It says here, U.S. is preparing options for strikes inside of Venezuela. Let's see. I know there's a lot of back and forth between the U.S. and Russia, and again, what do you believe? You know what I mean? What do you believe? Let's see here. Oh, Democrats released redacted Epstein records mentioning Elon Musk. Again, it's being used as a distraction. Completely used as a distraction. And boy, did they got the left completely losing their minds over it. Gaza deal's near, says Trump. I'll believe that when I see it. And this posturing with Russia, I find very interesting. So we went from, remember the campaign promises that we were going to stop sending a bunch of money and weapons and all that to Ukraine. And now I guess the current mood is, well, whatever you need. Whatever you need. Absolutely ridiculous. That's why I have no faith. No faith in what's going on at all. Nope. Let's see. And I don't even necessarily trust that in reality that we're really at odds with Russia and all. I think it's nothing but a shell game. Yeah. Oh, we definitely got bait and switched. Yep. I saw it the first term. I saw it and I called it out. And yeah, I'm seeing it again. To me, it's so obvious. We haven't been told anything. We were told we were going to be, they were going to tell us what the whole deal with the drones are, even though most of them were planes that people were misidentifying. Half of them were people that thought they were going to have fun because everybody was watching for drones, so they'd take their drones up. And then you had other drones. I mean, drones exist, and they're not scary. Not the ones that at least we see currently around here. Not saying there are no scary drones. I'm just saying we don't have scary ones flying over us yet. But, we didn't We didn't hear anything with that. We didn't hear anything with, of course, the Epstein stuff, the 9/11 stuff. We really didn't get a whole lot with the JFK stuff. I don't think we've got anything really with the MLK stuff. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. That's why I don't pick sides with that stuff. Because once you pick a side, you start subscribing to a bunch of BS. And I'm not interested in that. Not interested in that. I want the data, I want the facts, and I'm not going to get emotionally involved in any of it because it's silly. It's silly. But boy, people sure get spun up over it. Let's see. I guess MiG-21 makes final flight in Indian skies. That was a pretty cool plane. I like flying the old MiGs in the simulator. They're awesome. They're awesome. What is that? The MiG-15, I think it is, that I enjoy flying a lot. Because it flies like a rocket-powered turd, and I like that. I like a challenge. Let's see. Oh, yeah, there's a... And I do find that's a little concerning, this big meeting with the top generals and Hegseth. That does have my attention. I mean, I'm not worried, but it's got my attention. That's just not something that we do. Oh, yeah, this is a big one. Trump hits drug imports with 100% tariff. So, folks that take prescription medications, do what you can. See if you can stock up before the prices go up if they hadn't already. Well, or I should say go up more. Oh, that's a thing. Just looking through. Like I said, I pay attention to the news, but not like I did before whenever I was doing the show every day. Because then I was like going in, reading I was reading tons of articles because I wanted to be prepared. I didn't want to come here and just not know what I was talking about. They've got enough channels to do that. I didn't want to be one of them. So yeah, that was just looking on RT's page. Let's see. I'd rather look on their page because the U.S. pages are just, whether it's Fox News or CNN, it's going to have just garbage. Well, let's see. What are you talking about? Definitely not take it off. If it were our custom, out of respect, straight up throwing stuff and freaking out on Christians. What are you, which one are you referring to? There's a lot of individuals that are attacking Christians. Whether it be the Antifa crew, whether it be the small hat people. A lot of that's coming out. There's so much noticing going on when it comes to that. Saw a video this past week where somebody put a compilation together of Christians being assaulted while they were like at the wall and stuff like that. Pretty crazy. Oh, well, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that. Hang on here. I will find it. See? It's just like really that easy, right? That easy. Let me, okay, KJV. So we are going to do a verse here instead of the whole chapter. But it says it all. Let's talk about that. So in Revelation 3:9, it says, "Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews, and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them to come to worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved thee." Interesting. So yeah, I know a little bit about what the Bible has to say about them. So, you notice that don't get talked about. Churches don't talk about it. You don't have many people at all talking about it. So, yeah, pretty crazy. Christians are looked at as filthy animals to them. That's just the way it is. Just the way it is. And all you got to do is go spend some time over there. You'll figure it out pretty quick. Go to the Wailing Wall. See how you're treated by the locals, and you'll figure it out real quick. Right, exactly. You hit it on the head. Hetty Hayes said, and I'll repeat it because I still don't have the chat up yet. Well, they say they love us, and in the same breath say we are no better than swine, and that Jesus is boiling in is that supposed to be excrement in hell or excitement? I'm not sure what word you were intending there. Yeah. I mean, they don't even recognize Jesus as the Messiah. So, I don't get it, brother. I do not get it. I do not get it. Confused people. That's why I'm Hebrew. That's why I'm Hebrew. We tend to look at what the Bible says and pay attention. Right. Yeah, it's insane. It is insane. And, it is what it is. I just, it's another thing that I throw my hands up and the Father's will be done. And that's the way I view it. The Father's will be done. If I'm wrong, well, that will be done. If I'm right, that will be done as well. So, but per His word, it's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Anyway, let's see, what else? Did anything else happen? Gosh, I'm afraid to look at AP. Well, He does everything for a reason. And I say that at the same time, I will emphasize, be very careful of the stories that you read and that you hear. Because there's a lot of things that get changed up. I don't know how many times I've heard Jesus referred to as being a Jew. He was not. He was not. And multiple times he denied being their king, their leader. multiple times, not just once, multiple times. It's very interesting. Everybody, though, it seems like, tries to claim Jesus. I mean, it's crazy. It's really crazy. I don't think that God or Jesus really care whether you're from their tribe or another tribe or not even one of the 12 or 13 tribes that we are aware of. I don't think it matters. I think the only thing that matters is our love for Him. That's it. And as long as you're trying, and even if you get half of it wrong, or even more than half of it wrong, if your heart's in it and you love the Father, that is what the Father's looking at. And that goes for everyone. That goes for the tiny hat people, that goes for the Hebrews, that goes for the Christians. Yes, it goes for the Muslims. It goes for all of us. And I will say that, and I will stand behind that, because God loves every single one of us. God doesn't just love the Christians. He doesn't just love the Muslims. He doesn't just love the Hebrews. He loves each and every one of us, all of us. And to me, that should speak a lot more volumes than what it does. That's why it gets me whenever people want to condemn, look down, or trash on entire groups of people. Because that's not how God views us. God doesn't view us as groups of people. He views us as each individual. Every single one of us has our own slate with the Father. We're not grouped up with this group of people or that group of people, this religion. Doesn't matter. It's who we are. Oh, I guess there was a massive shrimp recall. Now I'm hungry. I can't have shrimp. I wished I could have. I love shrimp, but Father says no. I need to get some mushrooms so I can make some. I've been dying for that. Been craving breaded mushrooms, like real bad, and we might have to get some mushrooms. I've been debating. Well, more than debating, I think I'm gonna give it a shot. Growing portobellos, because you could grow them like ultra cheap, and man, you know how good that would be. Freshly grown portobello mushrooms, deep fried in a delicious batter. Oh gosh, I gotta quit, else I'll be up till midnight in there deep frying onion rings or something. That does sound good, but I'm not going to stay up doing onion rings. That takes a little while. Got to find something, though, because damn it, I got hungry. Damn. Oh, man. What time is it? 5 minutes. Now I can go get me something to eat. I don't know what. I'm getting a little slim pickings in there. You always thought the most soulless creatures to feel the least... let me scoot the chat over in front of me. Yeah, I can see it now. Most soulless creatures to feel the least bad about killing for food are the ones in the sea. Well, yeah. I would imagine, though, that fish can cry, too. I imagine they feel pain, and On the soulless thing, you know, I don't know if the fish have souls. Honestly, don't. I won't rule it out. Um, I won't rule it out. I really do hope dogs have souls. I will say that. I really do. They're like NPCs. That's awesome. I figured you were talking about the fish. I do hope dogs have souls though, because I got one here that deserves the best eternity that she could ever have, without a doubt. There isn't a day that goes by that she doesn't make us laugh and that she doesn't take part in our shenanigans. It's great. Yeah, I'm the same way, brother. I never knew I could love a dog like I love her. And I mean, I've had a lot of dogs throughout my life, but I just never had that close of a connection. I just never, I never spent that much time with a dog before, like I spend with her. And she's a part of everything, and it's awesome. It really truly is. And we all day long we're picking on her one way or another. So we treat her like she's a human child, and it's great. It really truly is great. Best buddy ever, right over there, sleeping probably. Well, probably not sleeping. She's over there probably cussing me. I started to get stuff set. I put the camera up on the table behind me and all that. She got up and went over to the other side of the futon and plopped down. Like, damn it. But hey, it's not every day now, so. Oh, man. Well, I think I am going to hop off here so I can go find me something to eat before I crash out. I'm hungry. Hungrier than usual. But, anyway, I am going to hop out of here. I'm sure that I'll have some kind of video or two or whatever come out through the week. And, of course, I'll be back next Saturday night. Another dumpster fire. And, we'll go from there. So, I am out of here. I hope you all have a wonderful and blessed weekend. I hope you have a great week ahead. And we'll see you soon. Have a good night, folks. Shalom.